The woman that I'm about to bring to the stage is a weight loss coach. She's an author, and I guess she's what you'd call a mind hack expert. All right? Anybody like that? That idea of being able to do a little mind hack on yourself? You see, she's an expert in emotional eating. And so I'm here, yeah? Is that something that you... For the past 5 years, she's been training the coaches and therapists on how to get better results and faster results for their clients. So if there's a coach or a therapist that has clients and he or she helps them lose weight, who is the coach's coach? It's the woman I'm about to bring on stage, right? What she is going to share with you today, assuming you guys are excited when I call her up, when I bring her up. Not yet. But what she's going to share with you today is a mind hack that can help you eliminate cravings. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a piece of chocolate cake or something delicious and said, through willpower, I'm going to get this done. I am not going to eat you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, willpower is awesome and everything. There's a better way. You can do it with way less effort and energy than with willpower. Would you like to learn how? If you would like to learn how, then get on your feet and welcome to the stage, Miss Brittany Watkins!
You know how to make me smile. Hi, you guys. Welcome. Oh my gosh, it has been so awesome to meet some of you guys. I was at the dinner last night, and to be around you guys and to see the sisterhood and the community that you guys have created is just absolutely incredible. It is about damn time women come together and support each other and lift each other up. And I'm just like so impressed with you guys. So I'm really, really excited to be here. And I am so excited about what I am about to share with you. So the very first thing that I want to tell you guys is to actually not take notes for this presentation. So this is going to be a very hands-on approach. You guys are going to have an experience today. And what I will do is at the end of this presentation, I'll actually give you guys the notes. So I'm going to give you guys a whole bunch of free stuff. So just like allow yourself to kind of relax into this, be fully present, and that's how you're going to have the best experience here. Devon already kind of told you what we're going to be doing today, but today we're going to be talking about food cravings, okay? And you guys are going to actually have an experience with food cravings. How many of you guys struggle with food cravings? Yeah, almost everybody here. Okay. This is so complementary to what you guys are learning with Kaylin's work, right? So it's like, you have all the right information, you have all the right tools, you guys know how to eat healthy, you know how to exercise, you know how to do all the right things, and then that craving hits, right? And the chocolate is like, eat me. It's like calling to you from the cupboard, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I do the y'all thing when I'm in Texas. I don't know. It just comes out. I'm from California. I don't even know where that comes from. So today what you guys are going to learn is you're going to learn a simple technique that's actually self-applied. So you can do it to yourself. You don't have to go to a coach. You don't have to go to a psychologist. You don't even need to call me. You guys can do this completely on your own. That is one of the most powerful things about this technique is that it's self-applied. So once you guys learn these steps, which is super, super simple, I'm going to take you through today, you're going to never feel out of control around food ever again. How cool is that? Woo! I'll just kind of tell you guys a little bit about my story. So when I was 15, I was kicked out of my house, and that's another story for another day. But what I ended up doing was because I couldn't live at home with my parents, I rented a room from a strange woman. I found her in the newspaper. And, I got a job, and I started working and paying my bills and stuff, and it was a really, really difficult time. And I was really scared. 15 is really young. I'm sure you guys probably have kids that are 15. So it's a really young age for a kid to be out on her own. And, I was trying to be really positive and powerful, but at night when I was all alone in my room, my cravings would hit because I felt so alone and so empty and so unloved. And so at first I didn't realize what I was doing. I just really thought I liked Mexican pizzas from Taco Bell. And then I woke up one day and I couldn't fit into my jeans and I was like, crap. So I did what everyone would do, right? You go on a diet. So I tried all the diets, every fad diet you could ever possibly try, I tried it. And my problem got worse, not better. And by the grace of God, actually my parents introduced me to a psychologist who is still in my life today. And he started teaching me about the mind, and specifically the subconscious mind, which I didn't know this at the time, but it actually has 80% of the decision-making power in everything that you do. So while my conscious mind was telling myself to lose weight, my subconscious mind was telling me, eat the Mexican pizza, right? And so through going to these sessions with him, I started learning and I started growing. And then one day, it was about a year into our work together, he said to me, I just learned this technique over the weekend. It looks really weird. You're going to think I'm crazy, but I think it might help you. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I was still really struggling with cravings at that point because I couldn't control my mind. And so we tried it. And sure enough, I felt ridiculous. You guys will probably feel ridiculous today. But at the end of that session, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. And I felt the lightest that I had ever felt in my whole life. And sure enough, the more I used this technique, the less I wanted food. And over the years of my work with him, I discovered that there are these subconscious blocks in our mind, in our subconscious mind, that were causing me to crave food when I wasn't really hungry. And a lot of it had to do with trauma and, bad experiences that had happened to me. And so through my work with this psychologist and using this technique, I was able to completely transform my life. I graduated high school, which nobody thought I would do. I ended up getting a really high-paying job. I felt the happiest that I had ever felt. And, fast forward now, for the last 5 years, I've dedicated my work to helping other women uncover what their weight loss blockers are and release these cravings and these emotional eating urges. So that's why I'm here today, and, thank you. The very first thing that I want to explain to you is that, a lot of people beat themselves up about cravings. And I just hate that, because I did that too, don't you guys think, what do you think when you think about, oh, I ate that cookie and I told myself I wouldn't? You think you have shitty willpower, right? Sorry, can I say that word? Sorry. Okay. You think you have crappy willpower, right? And you beat yourself up and you're like, man, why did I do that? I told myself I wouldn't eat the cookie, but I ate it, and right? And it's like this spiral, and it's just, that's so heartbreaking to me because it actually has nothing to do with willpower. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an exercise, and I'm going to have everybody play along here. And you guys give me feedback, okay, if you have questions. So what I discovered in all of my work with food and emotional eating was that food cravings actually don't come from lack of willpower. They come from positive memories from your past. So I want everybody right now to think about, what is your favorite food? All right, and when I say your favorite food, this is the food that you don't buy. Because if it's in the house, that shit calls to you. I'm here. I'm in the cupboard. Come eat me. Okay, what's that food for you? Chocolate, pizza, cookies, ice cream, pizza. All right. Good, okay. So now what I want you guys all to do is I want you to close your eyes and really think about this. I want you to think about, what are your earliest memories of eating this food? Who did you eat this food with? So 9 times out of 10, you'll go back to a very positive memory or a positive time. Okay, because, you know, when we're young, we all, maybe not all, but a lot of us have had those experiences where you have a special outing with dad, and you guys go get that special ice cream, and it's just you and dad, and that's probably the only time that you get with him every Sunday, or baking cookies with grandma, right? Grandma's love, and grandma's just so happy to have you at her house. She's like, honey, let's just bake cookies together. So what happens in your mind is your mind works like a filing cabinet. Your mind works like a filing system. So what happens for people who struggle with food cravings and emotional eating, your mind has filed food cravings in the filing box with grandma's love. That's all. So when you eat the food, when you eat the chocolate chip cookies, it's like you're ingesting grandma's love. And this makes sense, right? Like, when we're so stressed out, when you've got a deadline at work, when the kids are freaking out, when you're tired, what are you craving? Wouldn't grandma's love in that moment just feel so good? So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to take the cookies out of that file. Well, we're going to use chocolate today. We're going to take the chocolate out of that file and we're going to put it into the chocolate file. Grandma's love is in grandma's love file. Chocolate's in chocolate file. And so what this will do is it won't take the food away. You guys won't, don't worry, you'll still be able to have your chocolate whenever you want and your donuts and your ice cream and stuff. You just won't eat it to excess. So how awesome would it be if you guys could have just a few bites of ice cream? Right? Or just a couple squares of chocolate. Right? And then think about this, and then you actually forget that it's in the cupboard. That's going to be my test. I'll tell you more about that at the end. That'll be the test to see if this works for you, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so we didn't really talk about it, but the technique that I teach is based in emotional freedom techniques, or tapping is kind of the nickname for it. It is based on Chinese acupressure and cognitive psychology. So this guy figured out about maybe 20 years ago, he actually discovered this by accident. He was a psychologist who was also trained in acupressure. And he was working with this woman. It's a very famous case study. Her name is Mary. And she was afraid of water. He'd been working with her for 15 years. And back then, the way that you help people is exposure therapy. So he had her in, maybe like a couple inches of water in the bathtub at his house. He was working out of his home. And he was putting water on her and, trying to, therapy her out of this trauma with water. And so he had just gotten back from this acupressure training. And while she was in the bathtub, he just started putting his hands on these points on her body. And within about 10 minutes, she jumps up out of the bathtub, she runs out through the back of the door, and she jumps into his swimming pool and starts splashing around going, I'm not afraid of water anymore, I'm not afraid of water anymore. And he's like, what? What just happened here? But he knew it had something to do with the acupressure points, and so he started testing it. And fast forward 10 years later, he developed a system that you can apply, which is what I'm going to teach you guys today, to any trauma, any emotional upset. So like your kids are stressing you out, you got in a fight with your significant other, you feel depressed, you have anxiety. You guys can actually use this technique to clear out those negative emotions, right? Or to get motivated. If you guys are like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today. You can do this technique to get motivated. And so my hope for you guys is that you will look more into this technique. I'm going to teach you, I've changed it a bit because what I found with regular EFT tapping, it actually doesn't work for weight issues. And so I've had to come up with my own system that I teach just to trainers and coaches and therapists because the regular tapping for me wasn't working. I've been working with this technique since I was 15 years old, so more than half my life. And but it's an amazing technique, and I really, really want to encourage you guys, if you feel called, if you get the bug like I did and like a lot of people do, go online and research this because it's a technique that will absolutely change your life, and it's changed my life. It is the reason that I'm here today. Thank you. All right, so who loves chocolate? You guys like chocolate? Most people like chocolate? Okay. What we're going to do is we're actually going to pass out some chocolate. And I met a couple lady bosses last night at the gym. Whoop, whoop, girls, well done. And we're actually going to bring them up here on stage because as I walk you guys through this, you guys are all going to do this with us together, but I'm going to get feedback from them because a lot of what they say is going to be what you guys are thinking and what you guys are feeling, okay? Hi, guys. This is Paula and Erica. They're so brave. Give them a round. Okay, so I met with them last night, and I just told you guys like where the points were, right? And I kind of told you what we're doing. So this hasn't been set up or anything. I just wanted to have a couple people that I knew wouldn't get nervous being on stage. And you guys are all going to have your own experience with this as well. So what I want to do is I want to first go through the tapping points because I'm going to walk you through an exercise while you guys are getting your chocolate. I just want you to look at these screens. So these are the acupressure points, okay? And what we do is we just tap on, it doesn't really matter which side, you just figure out what side works for you. You actually tap on these acupressure points, okay? So I'm going to tell you what to focus on. So I want everybody to kind of follow along with me. So the first point is the karate chop point. And then the second point is the beginning of the eye, eyebrow. Then outside of the eye. Under the eye, under the nose, chin, kind of like right at the bottom of your lip before you hit your chin, collarbone, and then tippy top of the head. Awesome. You guys are doing so well. Okay, so let's do it again because I want you guys to really get it down. So first point is karate chop point. Beginning of the eyebrow, outside of the eyebrow, under the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, tippy top of the head. All right, cool. So, does everybody have their chocolate yet? That's going to do it? No? You guys don't have your chocolate yet? Okay. Oh, you guys have chocolate? Okay, good. Who's asking? Heart? Yeah, that's the underarm. We're going to skip that one because sometimes boobs get in the way and stuff, and it's just like, you actually don't have to get all of them. I'm kind of giving you guys a shortcut. Sometimes it's hard to reach. My arms are sore from yesterday. I'm like, it's fine. So this is a very forgiving process, you guys. This is like, this kind of adds to me training you guys in this. So you really can't do it wrong. So the tapping points here, just try to get it into the best spot. But if you're just kind of around the area, it's going to work. All right, does everybody have their chocolate that's going to do this? All right, good. So Erica, we talked about chocolate for you last night, right?
Yes, yes.
And tell me what your memory was that you came up with.
So it was crazy because you kind of talked it out of me. It was something that was so deep inside, I didn't even realize that it was there. So when I was young, I would go to the store with my father, and I am a total daddy's girl. I love my mom too, but there's just a special place for dad, So we would go to the store, and I knew that every time that I went, I was going to get a Kit Kat bar. That's the only thing I ever wanted. It's the only kind of candy bar I ever got. It was amazing, and I have memories going back from, late childhood when we would actually walk into the store. My memories go all the way back to where I was so little that all I can remember are still images. And the first one is the Kit Kat bar, and then the second one is the Kit Kat bar in my dad's hands. Because that's how tall I was, and that's what I remember. And I just remember feeling so important and so loved. I was with my daddy. He always got me candy. We never could afford much, but he always made sure that he could get his little girl a Kit Kat.
So doesn't it thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely. I love you guys.
So you guys, can you see how this would cause you to crave chocolate as an adult? Because who could ever get enough of daddy's love when it's filed in that filing cabinet, right? So I want to share these stories with you so that, if you guys didn't come up with a memory, and let me just tell you something too, there'll be about 10% of you that won't have any happy memories. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong or broken. That just means that you actually need a different technique for this, and it's the emotional eating technique. I'll tell you more about that at the very end. 90% of people will have these positive emotions, but if you're sitting here like, what, I didn't get that, mine were all bad memories, and don't worry, I have something for you as well, so. Okay, Paula, tell us about yours.
So my story is kind of two people. My mom, little history, is bipolar. So I had a rough childhood growing up. And my grandmother was like my mother. When my mom was not sick, I do remember my mother buying those chunky bars. The ones filled with the raisins and the nuts and the chocolate. And that would be a time that I was able to connect with my mom and actually have my mom.
Yeah.
And with my grandmother, it's the desserts, because anytime my mom was not doing well, she would say, Paula, let's go race for dinner, and I do scarf my food, and people tell me all the time, slow down. And it'll happen one day. But so I eat fast, and if I beat her, she'd give me whatever dessert I wanted. So it was more of emotional attachment than I thought after speaking to Brittany.
Yeah, see, you guys wouldn't think about this stuff, right? And here you are criticizing yourself that you have bad willpower, and what you're really wanting is, like, there's a little girl in you that just wants to be loved, And so we're going to help change that for you guys now. Oh, I see some of you guys crying. I'm sorry, I have that effect on people. Okay, good. We're all women here, we know. We're like waterworks. So the way that we're going to start this is I want everybody to have just a little taste, unwrap your chocolate, and just have a little taste of your chocolate. And what you're going to decide is, on a scale from 0 to 10, how strong is your desire to have more? Now, I realize this might not be your amazing, perfect chocolate. Some of you guys, this will be your favorite chocolate, but some of you guys will... It's good. So, okay, good. All right, good. All right, so on a scale from 0 to 10, what's your number? So, Erica, what are you? And just have a little bite, you guys, because we're going to keep doing this. Careful. I'm going to keep my eye on you.
Is it just one bite?
Just a little bite. Don't worry, you can have more. Okay. She feels good about that. Okay. All right, so what's your number? Scale from 0 to 10.
I had a small breakfast. I'm at a 10.
You're at a 10?
Yes.
Okay, good. What are you?
I'm always at a 10.
You're always at a 10. All right. What are you guys? 10. Oh, double mic. Okay, well, all right. So let's do this together. All right, so put your chocolate down if you can, because you're going to want to tap. Here, I'll put yours in separate spots. Didn't think about having this. Okay. All right, so now this is going to sound a little bit weird, but I know, that's kind of what I do. I talk about crazy things. So what I want you to do is, you guys feel that desire, that 10 desire. I want to have more, right? And I want you to look down at the chocolate, or you guys imagine that the chocolate's there. And what you're going to do is, you have that strong desire because the feelings are there in your body. The feelings are really strong. So what we want to do first is we want to actually scoop the feelings out of the chocolate and then bring them into your body, because that's where they belong. You guys have put feelings in the food, and the food is just food. It just lies there. It doesn't do anything, but you have personalized it, okay? So with just closing your eyes, you might need to scoop a couple of times. Just reach down to the chocolate and imagine pulling all that taste and all those really good feelings into your heart. And just give me a nod when you guys have got that. You got that? And it seems weird, but it actually works. You're like, oh, whoa, it isn't me now. Okay. All right, and so now what I want you to do is we're going to start tapping through the points, okay? And so this next part you can just visualize, okay? And you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open. But what I want you to do is I want you to, as you tap through the points, I want you to imagine that person that you used to eat this food with is standing in front of you. Okay, so Erica, for you it'll be your dad, and Paula, for you it'll be your grandma, right? okay? And I want you to see them there in front of you. And as you tap through the points, what you're going to do is you're going to send them this taste and all these good feelings from your heart to their heart. And look at the expression on their face. See how much they love receiving this from you. And then watch and see as they gently send it from their heart back to your heart. Good. Keep tapping through the points. And keep remembering what that chocolate tastes like. And just pass this chocolate taste from your heart to their heart, and from their heart to your heart. I know this can be really emotional, you guys, so just know that you're doing the right thing. If you guys are crying and if this is really emotional for you, you know that this is the thing. This is really working. Okay, and so just keep tapping through the points. Taste the chocolate in your mind. Feel all those really good feelings, and just keep sending that taste and all those good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. Keep tasting the chocolate in your mind, feeling all those really good feelings, and just share this taste and all these good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. Good. Keep tasting the chocolate in your mind. Keep feeling all those really good feelings. And pass that taste and all those good feelings back and forth. Back and forth. All right, now take a nice deep breath. Everybody stop tapping for a minute. And let's just check to see what's happened, okay? A lot of you guys are crying and have had a big release. So the way that we work with tapping is that we always want to check our results. We want to see, are we making progress or not? So here, let me give you your chocolate back. This is yours. Wait, what? You got a weird look on your face, girl. What happened?
I just didn't really need the chocolate.
Okay, but you really wanted that. You were like, I didn't have breakfast.
Okay, but wait a minute, though. Something happened when you told us the first time to imagine, like, us giving our love to, it would be my dad. I imagine my dad standing right in front of me, and, you know, he lives far away from me, so I always miss him. I remember it was like we were passing back and forth. He was smiling at me, and I felt the love that I know that he would want me to feel all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's the same love that I want my children to feel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, like, first I was going to start bawling. I was like, oh gosh. I was going to start bawling, but then I concentrated on that tapping. And it was like the chocolate taste that was fading from my mouth, either by natural process or from this. It was replaced with my dad looking at me and me going, oh, this is what I'm supposed to feel all the time, whether it's from you or whether it's from me or whether it's from God. Like, I'm not supposed to get it from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, do you guys see how fast this can change? We're gonna do some more, because I know probably not everybody's feeling this way, but Paula, let's just check in with you. How are you feeling?
I can pretty much say the same thing she said. I felt the taste. Like when I eat chocolate, it lingers. It lingers. But okay. I kind of just felt the taste turning more of it into a bitter than a sweet.
Great. Did you expect that?
No. I was like, wait, where's the sweetness going?
Well, and you guys think about the word sweetness. You know, if you guys have a problem, there's a lot of women that have like, oh, I could just crave sweets all the time. Being sweet to yourself with sweets. That's the subconscious thing, is that if you guys are craving sweets, you're actually craving love, you're craving sweetness. So that's when you know what, this is the time to take a time out and go do something sweet for me, because that's actually what's trying to come through. You're trying to be sweet to yourself. Okay, so just check, just do me a favor, just have another little taste and just tell me on a scale from 0 to 10, everybody else do this, what's your desire, what's left? Maybe you'll still like it, maybe you won't, I don't know. Everybody's gonna be different here. 0 to 10.
It's probably like at a 4.
A 4?
It doesn't taste the same.
A 4. Okay, so you went from a 10 to a 4.
Yeah, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
It's not.
So what does it taste like? What do you?
Before, like, it was just the smooth, the milky, the chocolate, just all like melting, and now it's just like, yeah.
It's dry.
It's just kind of dropped. I don't know. It's not as rich tasting as it used to be.
Because we're taking the feelings out of it. The love doesn't live in the chocolate. All right, but the thing is here with food cravings, we want to get it to a 0. So I have time to get you guys down to a 0. So we're going to get this so that when you're actually at a 0, what usually happens with people is that you will be able to eat chocolate, but just have a couple squares and leave the rest in your cupboard. And you guys can use this for any food. So I know some of you guys, you're not chocolate people, so you can use it for any food, okay? I mean, macaroni and cheese, pizza, Mexican, whatever. Okay, think about how much faster your results will come when you guys use this technique. I tell my students, go buy like 10 different foods that you crave, bring them home, do this technique on it. You will absolutely, absolutely be able to change your body in the next couple months if you do this. Okay, let's go to you, Erica. So you have a little taste.
I took a taste.
Okay, what happened?
This is so crazy. Like, it looked a little different to me when I was looking at it down in my hand. It didn't really look the same. It looked more like, ew. So I went ahead and I took the bite, actually reluctantly, which again is crazy. And it did taste the same to me. It was still good and yummy, but I felt like, well, the power's not there anymore. Like, the power is mine now. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have the power.
Yeah. Awesome, right, guys? Okay, so did you have a number? I mean, even if it was a 2 or a 3 or a 1, like, is there
number.
any desire to have more?
No, because I'm not sitting down at a meal. There's no desire. It's crazy, but I kind of want to just throw it onto that table over there.
You want to throw it in the garbage?
Yes, there's no garbage can, or I would have said the garbage. There you go, thank you.
Probably the garbage for you. Woo! So guys, sometimes that happens. So how many of you guys are at a 0, like you have no desire to eat the chocolate anymore? Oh, wow, that's a lot of you guys. Okay, good. How many of you guys are at a 5 or lower in your number? Okay. How many of you guys are at a 5 or higher? Only a couple. Okay, good. All right, cool. So now at this point, what we want to do is, Paul, here, do you want me to hold that for you? We're going to keep coming back and testing it, so we need to keep holding on to this. So what we want to do is notice what you still really like about it, okay? So what is it that you still, why are you a 4? You're a 4 for some reason. So maybe it doesn't taste quite the same, it's not as yummy, but there's something you still really like about it. What is that?
Well, my grandmother actually passed away when I was 23. So I still had to live with my mother, who's still sick. So I think it's just the missing of my grandmother.
Yeah, okay. Aw, and tap. Just tap while you're feeling that. Just go ahead and tap through the points. Yeah. These are really strong emotions, you guys. You know, this is really powerful. Yeah, send her guys love. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Yeah. So what I want everybody to do is I want you guys to notice what it is. Is it the sweetness? Is it the smoothness? Is it the creaminess? Is it the chocolatiness? Okay, what do you guys that you still really like about it? What is it? Just yell it out. Sweet, rich. Okay, so focus on what that thing is, okay? And here, will you hold this for a sec? And I want everybody to just repeat after me, okay? Even though I still love this, whatever it is, creaminess, chocolatiness, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I can't get enough of this chocolatiness, creaminess, smoothness, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I still want more of this creaminess, chocolatiness, I completely love and accept myself. And then just tapping through the points, that creaminess, that sweetness, it makes me feel so good. I just love the way I feel when I eat it. I don't want to give up this feeling. Don't take my chocolate away from me. It's so good. I don't know who I'll be without this chocolate. I don't know what I'll do without my sweets. Yeah, this is powerful. Maybe it's been my friend. Chocolate's always been there for me. When no one else has been there, chocolate was there for me. But I choose to relax now. And I choose to realize that this is just chocolate. It can't love me back. It just lies there. I choose to love myself. I choose to give myself that love that chocolate's always given me. Because it's not in the chocolate anymore. All right, now take a nice deep breath. I'm going to get your chocolate. Okay, so everybody, let's go back and we're going to test our results. Maybe that worked, maybe it didn't, we don't know. So have another bite and decide what your number is on a scale from 0 to 10. Wait, what? You guys don't want it? You want to throw it away? Okay, I did tell them that this might happen, so I think we have some garbage cans around here somewhere. So, so just hold on to it for a minute until we're done. So let's just check in with Paula. What's your number, girl?
I think I'm done.
0?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so welcome.
I didn't realize that this was such a huge emotional connection.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. It's really powerful when you do this. You guys have so much more power now around your food cravings. Just knowing this technique will absolutely, absolutely help you on your weight loss journey. So thank you so much. Thank you guys for being our amazing demonstrations. You're so welcome. Thank you. You're so welcome. Oh, you guys. So what happened with you guys? What's your number now? Are you 3 or lower? -10. Oh, you guys are like, I'm done. All right. Who doesn't have a craving anymore? Who's at a 0? Oh, good. That's a lot of you.
All right, so if you like this technique that I just showed you, I have something really, really powerful for you, okay? It's my 6-week program, and it's actually filled with 6 of the most powerful techniques to help you overcome food cravings, emotional eating, self-sabotage, and pre-verbal childhood trauma that relates to overeating now. So you guys, I went so deep on this. When I figured out that traditional tapping wasn't going to work for me, I just racked my brain. I took all my psychology books down to the beach in Playa del Carmen. I moved to the beach and I just researched the crap out of this and I practiced with all of my clients. And what I realized is that I came up with a series of techniques that allowed me to push food away even when I was right in the middle of a binge. So I don't know if you've struggled with emotional eating or not, but if you've ever had emotional eating, oh my gosh, you know that it is so hard to stop yourself when you start. And there was no amount of tapping for me that could ever make me stop eating. And so what I did one day is I was doing it myself and I was inspired with a certain series of questions to ask myself. And I went through this process and in about 10 minutes, I was able to push that food away from me. I wasn't deprived at all. I didn't even want the food anymore. I did some tapping, but I did tapping in a very different way than what I was taught in traditional tapping. And it worked. And I did it over and over and over again. Every time I wanted to binge, I just did that technique. I didn't want the food anymore. And then I started just dropping weight. And now it's been 5 years. I've been completely binge free. I have not had one binge in 5 years. I have not had to put any conscious amount of effort into it whatsoever other than applying the tapping. So I cannot say enough about this program. That's just one of the aspects that's in this program. The other really big problem that I had to solve was the self-sabotage. And, you know, if you're anything like me, as soon as I start to see results, I would end up totally sabotaging myself later. And so what I did is I discovered that self-sabotage has nothing to do with the amount of willpower that you have. It has everything to do with the relationship that you have with your parents, which is pretty crazy. And so there's a certain way that I work with this parent-child family relationship that helps to eliminate this self-sabotage, which sounds crazy. It doesn't sound like those things would ever work together, but it's really, really powerful how it works. And so this 6-week program, I normally sell on my website for $1,000. We do give a discount of $499. But today, because you watched this video, I'm gonna give you a special offer of $149. Now, you will never see this offer ever again. This is literally the only place that you will ever be able to buy this program, this very powerful program that people pay all the time $500 and $1,000 for. This is the only place that you'll be able to find it for $149. I'm gonna tell you what's in it, okay? The first module is all about food cravings. Kick your cravings to the curb. You'll also learn a secret finger tapping spot so that if you're out in public, you can literally like tap on these certain points on your fingers and eliminate your food craving, okay? You'll also in that module get a morning tapping routine that will just like totally set you up to have the most amazing day. And a lot of people say that this just helps their binging like go way down. All right, module 2 is supercharge your willpower. This is where you're gonna learn how to overcome this self-sabotage that you always do. You're gonna learn one of my most powerful methods that I literally don't ever talk about in any free video. You have to buy a program in order to learn this technique because that's how powerful it is. If I just gave this away for free, nobody would buy anything and then I would be having to do something else for work and you guys wouldn't want that. All right, so we're also going to talk about the third chakra in this module because it's your power center. So if you know anything about the chakras, these two things are really connected. So, you know, what I love about this technique for self-sabotage is that this isn't just about food. So think about if you don't sabotage yourself with food anymore, you don't sabotage yourself with your relationships, you don't sabotage yourself with your work. Some of our students will start to make more money. Actually, a lot of our students start to make more money. They start to have better relationships. They start to get along better, you know, with the people around them. They start to actually go after their dreams, things that they've just been talking themselves out of, that they're like, oh no, I can't do that, or you know, I don't know how. They finally step up and go, you know what, I'm gonna do this. They quit jobs. Sometimes they get money in the mail for no reason. So this technique is so powerful. It's like, I can't even believe I'm giving it away for this price, but I want to do that for you because this is going to be so dang helpful for you. It's not even funny. All right. Then module 3, we talk about emotional eating. This is where you learn my technique to push food away, even if you're right in the middle of a binge. And the coolest part is that we actually give you a little MP3. It goes on your phone, where it's me walking you through the technique. So you can pop it on anytime you have an emotional eating urge. How cool is this? Like, this was like my dream. When I was in the middle of binging and I couldn't control myself, all I wanted was an audio of somebody walking me through a technique that actually worked, okay? I studied with Janine Roth and all that. Nothing ever worked for me. This is the only thing that has ever worked for me, and now thousands of my students agree and say the same thing. So what you'll get in this module is you'll get an audio that you can download into your smartphone, and anytime you want to binge, you just pop that on, do what I tell you to do, go through the tapping process and the visualization that I give you, and literally within 10 or 15 minutes, you will not want that food anymore. And over time, you keep using this technique more and more and more, you eliminate more and more of your emotional eating and you'll stop eating emotionally. You'll notice that. All right, module number 4 is the Don't Clean Your Plate module. And basically what we do in this class is we have you work on the subconscious program that won't allow you to throw food away. So I don't know if you grew up with like, hey, there's starving children in Africa, or you better clean your plate, missy. Or if you ever were made to like sit at the table until you were totally stuffed, or you ate the food that was on your plate. You probably overeat now as an adult. So this module will completely reprogram that issue for you. Also, in this module, you get the bonus. You get the naturally thin eating plan, which is just like, it's not a diet at all. It's just a new way of thinking, and it's a new way of, it's basically the way that naturally thin people, we deconstructed the way that naturally thin people eat. And I have a master in neurolinguistic programming, and so I talked to like 7 of my naturally skinny friends, and they basically all have the same technique. So in this module, you get that as well, and you can learn how to apply their technique, which is what NLP is all about. NLP is about learning techniques from masters that are really naturally good at what they do, and then applying it in your own life. All right, module number 5 is called the I'm Too Sexy module. And what this does is it's dealing with the subconscious fear that if you are more sexy, or if you're a smaller weight, or if you're more attractive, then you'll get more attention and your boundaries might be violated. So this shows up in a lot of different ways, and I can't tell you, I bet 80 to 90% of my students have this. I call them weight loss blockers. They have this weight loss blocker, and this is one of the most important weight loss blockers to overcome if you really want to be able to release weight and always be able to control yourself around food, subconsciously, not consciously. The last module is called Let Us Wrap It Up, and this is when we deal with that pre-verbal childhood. So if you ever were hungry as a baby, you're probably not going to remember it. But if there was ever a time that you really needed food, or you really needed love, or you really needed emotional nourishing and you didn't get it, it can cause you to want to give yourself that as an adult. Now, this will be completely subconscious. You won't think like, oh, well, I didn't eat when I was a baby, so now I've got to eat something. It won't be, you won't actually know that you're doing this. But this is so, so common. And, you know, before we're able to talk, we also have emotional needs. And our parents can't read our minds, so they weren't always there to meet our emotional needs. So this module walks you through a very powerful process. And by the way, all of these are techniques. They're repeatable techniques, just like the one you did today, that you can keep doing over and over and over again. Okay, so like these are tools for you to have. This is why I'm so passionate about this. I've always wanted people to be able to have actual tools that they could apply in the moment. You didn't have to come to me or one of my coaches in order to have amazing success. You could actually apply these yourself. All right, so there's a whole bunch of other bonuses that I won't even go into go into talking about. It's really beautiful. I'm kind of reading the page here. Everything is done really, really well. We've designed it really well so that it's really easy to consume. We also have Q&A calls with me. So if you have a question about a technique, you can just pop on the phone and in a group session, ask a question. We also have a private Facebook community, which is my favorite part. I'm in there every single day answering your questions. So you'll have other students that will be sharing what their process is and the things that are coming up for them, and asking questions like, hey, Brittany, how do I apply this technique? You said to do this, but I did this, and you know, it didn't really work. Like, what should I do here? And so I'm always in there every day answering questions and giving you guidance as to how to apply these techniques. I promise you, if you know these techniques and you know the right way to apply them, you will never have a problem with food for the rest of your life. And how cool is that? All right, so again, this is the only time you'll see this offer. I really hope you take me up on it. This is my heart and soul. This is my life's work. I have actually studied EFT tapping for more than half my life now. So to say that I know what I'm talking about here is an understatement. I've helped thousands of women. There's about 25,000 women all over the world that follow me because I know the deepest, most advanced methods to apply to food cravings, emotional eating, weight loss, and self-sabotage. So I really, really hope that you make it. I would love to have you in this community here, and I can't wait to help you on this journey. All right, lots of love.